Hello, and welcome to Talkin Terramir January 2024. I'm going to keep pushing that name until Wes actually writes it in the script. I'm Charlie. I'm usually the producer in the background of the show, but tonight I'll be hosting. We also have...
Hey, I'm Wes. I'm the Game Master.
And I'm Mike Jones. I play Gemma Ashton White, Azamara Sorceress.
I'm Hannah Nye, and I play Willaketa Whistle, Gem Dragonborn Blood Hunter.
Got the longest intro out of all of you. Alright, so yeah, we're here to discuss the last arc in our campaign. It was mostly the city of Varendrel. Sorry.
Varendrel.
And Varendrel. Yeah. Var. So we'll be discussing that whole arc tonight into the end of our basically season 1, campaign 1, whatever we want to call it.
Calling it arc 1.
Arc 1.
Yeah.
So the mini arc within the arc, however you guys want to put that. You can find all of those episodes from the arc we're discussing tonight and all the mini arcs before that by visiting talesofterramir.com. We stream live on Twitch, but you can find uploads of everything on YouTube, Instagram. Well, Instagram and TikTok are shorts, but full uploads are on YouTube. We also have audio versions of full episodes that go up on any of your podcast apps for the most part. And then, yeah, we do shorts on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Facebook with our handle Tales of Terramir. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to our Twitch. You all get one free Prime sub. I know probably used it already, but if you haven't, maybe give it to us. You'll get exclusive emotes, ad-free viewing, and a bunch more. You can also subscribe. Yeah, okay, that's in there. I'm overrunning myself on the script.
You're doing great.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to the podcast, give us a like, give us a rate, comment. Any feedback really helps us out. If you think there's stuff we could do better, be nice about it. We'll take feedback though. But yeah, we're gonna dive into discussing the latest mini arc and kind of like season finale or big arc finale stuff. I think we started off basically getting to Varendrel.
Yes.
Varendrel.
Varendrel. Well, I guess it works for Willow, right?
Yeah.
Varendrel.
Always said Varendrel.
Oh, so she gets to mispronounce.
I think it's allowed for her for being in character.
Yeah.
Right before that, we had left straight from Redguard, I think.
Redguard.
And we were on the way. We were trying to circumvent Varendrel, but something compelled us to go there.
Something,
actually.
Yeah. Hey, no, you wanted to go. Let's.
Did we? No, I feel like we could have avoided a lot of trouble. Because everywhere we go, seemed to be.
We had so much fun in the city, you know.
Oh, fun! Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was.
I thought there was a lot of fun stuff in the city.
Oh yeah, the shopping. Shopping's always a good fun.
Shopping was good.
A lot of shopping.
Of course, the restaurants and stuff.
I feel like half of it was shopping.
Can never get enough shopping. Well, all the stores were. It wasn't like a Varendrel Walmart. You know, everything was across.
Right.
So, couldn't just go.
You had to explore. You had to go out and get different places. Yeah.
And then we got the wrong place. Oh, you don't sell bows here? Oh no. Okay. It was a bow store.
This isn't a one-stop shop.
Right.
Okay.
I swear I just heard you say Bose like the headsets, and I'm like, yeah, you ever really need some noise-canceling headphones with the...
Yeah. No, that was my Floridian accent. You have to go to the bow shop. I thought part of the shopping stuff that I enjoyed was I got to sort of do a thing with Anton where Gemma got to give him sort of a gift or buy him a gift for all the stuff that he's been able to do for her. And I think buying the shield for him, at least for me, was kind of symbolic of, him protecting her this entire time. So she also wanted to kind of like return that favor.
Yeah, that was a cool moment. I liked that when you... Yeah, and then there was the awkward moment of he kind of insulted the shopkeeper for it's like, oh no, this is just regular shield. I wanted like one of the better shields. He's like, no, all the shields are good.
And then Gemma's charisma
That whole
slips
moment.
right in and helps out with that, right?
Like, no, we didn't mean like all the shields are bad. We just kind of want the nicest you have.
Yeah, something special. And I think that was cool too, because, to me, Anton is one of those people who doesn't buy anything nice for himself, especially from his background and how he grew up, so he probably just wanted something functional. It's like, no, man,
Right.
get something good for yourself. You're here.
The nicest thing he gets on it is an engraving, which is just him carving his initials in it with a knife.
You ruin the resale value of that shield. His own personal touches, I guess. That was a adamantine shield? Adamantine?
Yeah. Was
Something
it
like
adamantine?
Either that or I know that you gave it
Mithril.
Mithril shield.
So it was
Mithril
just
shield. You're right. It was
lightweight for him, right?
Yeah. So it made it
Yeah,
more.
'cause-
Yeah, it was extra lightweight.
Yeah, adamantine is, I think, higher than mithril a bit.
Yeah. What cancels out crits? Like Will's armor,
Will's
right?
armor. Yeah.
Is your armor adamantine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that was like the
That's
dope
part of
thing
your
about it.
the scale mail. That's the cool thing about your scale mail. Yeah, is that it cancels out crits.
I can't
Yeah.
crit. She's like, yeah, sure, I knew that.
I remember that.
A lot has happened since you got that.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think you've been crit on. Have you?
I feel like she might have been crit on and didn't
No, I
use
always
it.
just silvery barbs.
It
And
could
It's
have
not
been.
like
Yeah,
automatic.
you usually silvery
I don't
barbs a crit.
recall.
Yeah.
I don't recall. Yeah.
You rolled like 3 or 4 crits last session, Wes, and I don't think it came up.
Huh.
Right.
I don't think I crit Willa at all though.
Not
No.
Willa.
You had a
Yeah.
couple, but yeah.
I know Anton and Raz for sure. So,
Yeah.
But
We'll get to that. I have a lot to say about that last
Oh,
one.
yeah? What else did we
what it-
buy?
What everyone
Clothes?
think of the rest? Well, well, I guess we can finish the shopping. You got clothes. You got
Oh, I did so much shopping.
You got the
Well,
fancy-
I'm
the cloaks. You got the cloaks, or
Oh, the fancy clothes. Yeah.
yeah, you guys had to get fancy clothes for your meeting and
That was fun.
fancy
Not-
restaurant dinner.
walking around in travel tatters.
Yeah, this was also like the first city you guys went to there where there was like a good amount of like magic-y stuff happening. Because the hotel had like the Disney smart house style walls with illusions and
Let's stay here.
well, it's like when you first got there. The first thing you guys got were like clothes to try and cover yourselves up, right? The fancy cloaks, and then I guess like Erasic was like trying to be like, "Ooh, you got any magic items?" As like, and then he reported them.
Yeah.
Right.
That worked out well.
I was trying to stay low key. I think that was maybe his excitement getting away from him. But I mean, we are in a new place. But yeah, we wanted to be a little bit more careful than we were when we first approached, I think.
Yeah. It was interesting to see how quickly that like happened though. We had just spoken with like the shopkeep and then all of a sudden we were being interrogated.
Oh, they're on high alert, probably.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, the guy in my head, in my mind, he's sort of, because you went to the shop across the street. And when you did that, he slipped out and just talked to a guard, and then the guards waited for you all to come out.
Dang.
oh, it's a bunch of
Yeah.
tattletales,
Yeah,
a bunch
snitch.
of rats. Yeah.
He was a big tattletale. It's like, that guy stole my wallet. That person.
But then he ended up doing it later. But that was sort of a different circumstance, I think. It's kind of
I thought you guys got in trouble with the guards because Raz was asking about magic items really obviously when you were shopping.
I think at first, yeah.
At
Yeah,
first,
that's why he was reporting them.
Yeah.
Not the second one when like right before you put together that job with the Eben Jewel.
They haven't.
Oh, yeah.
The Ebon Hawk.
He almost sold
Ebon
it.
Jewel.
Yeah. Well, we had gone through that whole thing, and then all of a sudden we're picking up another, back room deal with this dude.
Mhm.
Right.
But rogues be rogues. So
Yeah, we'll get more into that
Yeah.
too.
Other than that, I know I bought a hand crossbow. We all got some weapons. I know the melee dudes, a lot of them got sharpening stones or sharpened weapons, but we haven't had an opportunity to use that. Was talking to
I hope they had it marked on their sheets because I doubt they were taking the +1 damage or whatever they should have gotten from that.
I noticed, Mike, you had mentioned that to Justin on the side before the final battle. But yeah, I don't think anyone was really using that because some of the weapons were sharpened and had that extra edge.
You guys spent like 30-40 minutes just like haggling for stuff.
It's an easy thing to forget, though.
It
is.
Yeah.
We did spend a lot of time trying to haggle.
Well, I'm more confused. Wes, did you have those on hand, or did you?
No, we found them on the ground right there.
Well,
What do you mean?
DM wise, did you have those like on hand in the shop, the sharpening stones?
Oh
or did
no,
you have
not
to
at all.
find something?
No.
Yeah,
That I
because
kind
you guys were angling for. We need something more affordable.
You were all like, I want to sharpen my weapons and
rock.
stuff, and I was like, well, maybe they can do this for extra gold, and it was a temporary effect, right? You get a little more damage, a little more crit range, right? Because it's sharpened, and but I don't think anyone's used it yet.
A fancy weapon shop guy.
Yeah.
Our sponsor. Are they our sponsors? For the
As far as you know.
Yeah.
Maybe if you ever come back to Varendrel,
Fire Blades.
everything's over. You'll
Right.
see this big like neon sign that
You spelled it wrong.
So it's a shoe logo.
all this time. Oh,
My shoes have holes in them. I'm not the soul. Walking these damn things. Anyway.
They start doing appliance direct style commercials mentioning you
Gotta
guys.
make that gold, right? After the adventure. Yeah. Other than that, what? Restaurants and stuff? It was
Yeah, restaurants.
Very
Let's go
rich
to
city,
restaurants.
dude. You got to do a lot.
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
The play was fun. I think that was a great RP opportunity.
Yeah, the play
Yeah.
was a bit later.
Yeah, that
You guys
was
had to meet like the
Okay.
Jedi Council of the city first.
Oh yeah, yeah. We did so much that I can't even remember the order of events. 'cause
It's
then
been
we-
like
What
half a year.
happened?
I don't know. Does
A
anyone
lot
have
happened. But once we start going through it, I feel like things are gonna pop up.
Yeah.
You know, things you already mentioned a couple things that I forgot about. But yeah. What about the restaurants? Because that's like our thing, right? Like, I had to make sure to flesh out a menu for like every restaurant because I never knew which one you'd go into, and that's like our thing is dining out and experiencing that. I will say that I didn't expect you all to go into Varendrel and immediately go on the high end spectrum. Like when you said the Celestial Haven Hotel, didn't expect you all to go there. That was sort of just a high end option. I thought you might lay low, and you're like, no, laying low is exactly what they expect. We're gonna go high.
No. I don't think we all.
Like Kevin McAllister in the plaza.
I don't think we all said that. I think we had a very distinct discussion about how to lay low. And someone reasoned us into the high-end, high-profile stuff.
I thought you guys got like. Did you not get hotel vouchers? First, you just went straight there.
No.
Well, they got the
no.
cloaks. So you got the cloaks. You did a little shopping, and then you went
Yeah.
to you went to the Celestial Haven Hotel.
Someone wanted to blow their
Yeah.
riches on
Right.
maybe 3 nights stay. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not gonna turn down free room, right? And it was
Razak
cool.
Decided to pay for everyone
Yeah,
at the
whatever.
hotel. By the end, he slowly tried to retract that a little bit.
I think that
Maybe not a whole week,
Yeah,
you know.
I didn't want to call him out too hard, but I mean, I think that kind of fits his character too, where he was just like, "Oh wait,
It
I
did, yeah.
didn't think that far ahead." Live in the moment.
Yeah.
But it was a cool experience for sure. The hotel, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad we went there. So I remember
Yeah,
you
was
like
guys- think
Wait,
of it.
you said that when like the lobby had like these magical waterfalls and everything, which immediately once I heard that I was like, wait a second, why is this? How is this legal here?
Right. Okay. So yeah, you got that. Yeah.
It has that that history of it being an elven or prior to an elven city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Originally, and that
Yeah.
kind of give a little bit more of that lore
Right.
/ backstory to the area, which I thought was very cool.
Cool.
It's kind of
Yeah.
allowable. Maybe it's allowable because it's so dope, you know. No one's getting hurt, but
Well, that's too. I kind of want to
Money.
like have that, reflection of a little real world reflection there of like the rich have more, benefits. They have more
allowances. And
Yeah, where things can be slipped through because the rich are allowing it. So pay off the guard, pay off the city. This is cool. We're enjoying it. We can allow magic here for us, but not anyone else. Kind of thing. So that was sort of the vibe there, and plus the elves have been around way longer than the Empire. Elves live for hundreds and hundreds of years. The Empire's been around for like 200 years. It's been around way longer than that. So
No,
I want
yeah.
to reflect that history too.
Yeah, that definitely came across, especially with some of the weird hypocrisy going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then later on, when we get to the council, we found out that even I believe some of the elven council members.
Yeah, they were, like, still there.
on but like weren't some on the Imperial side?
Yes. Yeah, there were two. And then there was one sort of in the middle that you would convince to go on your side. So it was like 2 and 2, and then one in the middle, and you convinced. So it was like 3 against 2, and that was what that like end vote was. But yeah, there were 2 elves who were sort of like, I see the benefit of the Empire. Like sort of, there was one that was more trying to exploit the military aspect of being like, oh, we have more military now. We can use this to defend our city. And then there was one that was using it for power. The main guy, Alaro, Nestorin's dad, he wanted to gain power, and he wanted to climb the ranks of the royal court. Eventually, he wanted to take over for Heimenstein, who was the human leader of the city.
Oh my god!
He wanted to be the lord and be the ruling royal sort of leader of that city over him.
I forgot that was that guy's name.
The situation. My god. He was corrupt.
Yeah.
I'm glad they came to our side though. So we're like, we don't have to kill you guys.
You guys are all right. I can't believe you didn't get immediately reported right there by one of them.
What, for being the sole survivors?
Yeah.
We snuck our way up there, right? There was that one guard that might have noticed Anton,
Ullman.
but
Anton's buddy.
yeah,
What was his name?
Ullman.
Ullman.
who came back to bite us later.
Man.
Yeah.
Who survived? Skipping ahead a little bit. 3rd degree burns, I think.
He's still alive.
He's still
Ullman's
alive.
still alive, so
He's gonna come back for us again.
Villain backstory. His friend betrays him, and he got
Next thing we know, we're gonna start the next season, and he's gonna be crawling up the side of the boat.
That's what happened at the credits of the last episode. If you guys watch the last episode, you wait till it go by and you see the
Secret ending.
Exactly.
we should backtrack a little bit though before we
Sure.
get into
Yeah.
because we should talk about with Werenthar.
Oh,
there
that
was
was
the-
before. Right.
Yeah, so there was that attack, remember, on the river?
Oh, the wisps.
River,
The wisps.
The wisps. And then you had that, and then Willa, your instincts took over, right? Because you caught that
Yes.
scent of
That was
someone similar to
surprising.
you.
Yeah.
I guess
I
talk
think-
about your thoughts there.
I mean, I didn't expect that at all. I think we were on our way, looking at my notes, we were on our way to do a stakeout, I think outside of
Yeah.
the temple.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all of a
with
sudden
the-
we saw the wisps and then the smell, and it was like, okay, now we're going somewhere else.
Yeah.
That was surprising. But
Then you let in.
I mean-
you went into the woods, and then you saw the river
river nymph.
river nymph. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then went into meet Werenthar. What'd you all think of the waterfall and going in through there? And what were you thinking as you went into there? And I guess your experience.
Did we have a fight
That.
in the front of that, or was
Wait.
it just the inside?
There was
I
think that one was just the inside, and then there was like the
There was the earth
other
elementals
waterfall
when you got
fight.
waterfall.
Oh, there
When you
was
got
Earth
to the entrance
Elementals.
of
Was
the
that-
lair, there was the earth elementals. And then
Barely
you
an
went.
inconvenience.
That was the same fight.
Well, there were two separate fights at the waterfall. We're talking about the first one when they first
Okay,
got
yeah,
there.
yeah. This is the first one just in that front area.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
inside were the corrupted river sirens, right? The sisters
No,
of
that's
the...
the second one.
Yes.
That was the
but
first
it's-
time we went to the cave, though.
It was the first
Yeah.
time we went to the cave.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first time we
Oh,
went
the
to
sirens were there
waterfall.
the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we went
Oh,
in,
okay.
right? To help Nelida?
Alita, yeah.
Yeah, there was the forest sprite.
Oh, I remember
Dryad
now.
nymph.
The earth elemental had come out of sort of the rocky wall of the waterfall, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Came and attacked
Two
us.
earth elementals came out defending the lair. You fought them off. And then you went in through the waterfall and fought the river nymphs. And then or not the river nymphs, the corrupted river nymphs. And then
Yeah.
met Werenthar, which I was totally prepared for a fight when you went into
Right.
come in. But
Oh,
Willa going in there with her persuasion convinced them to. That changed so much of the plot too. That's what makes D&D so
that
exciting.
was a nat 20, I think, right? Didn't
Yeah.
you roll a nat
Yeah,
20?
I
on
think
that
Was
one?
it a
so.
net 20?
I think
Cool.
so.
Because I think stat-wise, Willa isn't the most charismatic, right?
Yeah, I don't believe so. Let me see. I have it up.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
no,
about?
it's
Don't
super
kill him.
Charisma.
You know?
Plus 0. So there
Yeah,
you go.
exactly.
Got like a 10, right?
Yeah.
But she's right. We shouldn't kill everybody. That's so strange.
To make
Everyone just
speech.
always listens to her, but no one really knows why.
Listen to her, like the tone of her voice, not what she's actually saying. We're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the implication.
But yeah, that was cool and surprising too. I feel like if it went the other way, did he talk to you before we had a fight? Was he like, hey, I'm your stepfather or your father's roommate?
Oh, she knew.
It was.
Oh, she did know.
No,
Alright.
that was when
No.
he either said it before we almost fought or after she talked him down. It was either one. I don't remember.
He had already mentioned it.
Okay.
That I believe that he had already sort of mentioned it. Like he recognized you, right? Like you came in and he recognized you. But then you found out he's been doing all these horrible things. So
Right.
it could have been like maybe we just fight him, but you all decided let's talk to the council, and he allowed you to have that a little bit of time. And
Because
We all decided. I feel like all of us were about our blades out behind
Well,
Willa.
eventually,
like trying to talk.
right.
eventually, he has to throw the Emperor down a bottomless pit to redeem himself.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that would have gone the other way. I mean, you just found all that information out, and had you not rolled that, you might be killing him, instead.
I think it was definitely a surprise to like learn the backstory and like he found her first. Technically, he started raising her a little bit first, right?
Yeah.
Then he left or whatever. He left or he got kicked out.
He went out for cigarettes.
He went out for beer. Knocked him out.
So to be really clear about the whole backstory, there is so he was a part of the order with your parents, right? Or the parents that raised you. And this draconic order, they found you in the basket in New Domar. They took you in, and especially since they are the draconic order, right, of blood hunters, a dragonborn, they took an interest in you. And but then there was a rift that happened between them all. Like Varendrel, who's like more of a druid, more about the wilds, he wanted to push back like civilization from going and encroaching through the forest. And your parents were the opposite. Not so much like they wanted to just destroy nature or anything, but they wanted to embrace civilization and have it live in harmony, right, with the forest, have farm animals and civilization live in harmony with everything. And Varendrel didn't like that, and so that's where sort of the rift came, and the order shattered from that. One half went into the wilds, one half continued doing what they were doing. Your family kind of raised you up in this farm. They made sure Varendrel didn't have you because they thought he was evil. They didn't want him raising you, and that's sort of where the split happened. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, yeah, that's all jogging my memory. So
Yeah.
no, I think it was really neat learning that backstory, and then I don't think she would have killed him either way. If we ended up fighting, I think she would have did a little boop
Well,
at the
it
end.
doesn't kill anybody half the time until she
true.
like accidentally explodes something's head.
Well, that's
Or if it's a sheer monster, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
only if it's like
Allegedly.
has no intelligence, like no sentience, then
Mhm.
well, it will kill.
I don't know. We have a couple of Blade happy party members too that forget to do non-lethal damage. They stab around the heart.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
I think technically non-lethal spell damage isn't a thing.
Yeah,
So-
well, you know, thanks, Wes. I would have killed Raz that one time when he got skipping ahead too when he got enchanted. I think the shocking grasp tasing ability is coming in helpful.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
God.
I mean, we can probably
so
get to that
frustrating. It was-
point.
I just gotta throw that in there. That was
We-
just wild, right? Where he kept
We
getting
can-
the low rolls, he couldn't break out of the charm, and we were like, "What is happening? Like, what is going on?"
If we just want to skip straight ahead to that, like 5 minutes into that encounter, I'm like, Wes, just fudge the fucking roll with him. Like, just end it. It went on, and then at the 10-minute mark, it was kind of funny again. But then, like 20 minutes, I'm like, this just sucks now. Like,
I was having a lot of fun.
I was so done with it, and you guys were just like, no, we're gonna keep punching him. I'm like,
Slow down, Charlie. We're
Someone-
getting relaxed, man.
someone do something different. Like,
I feel like it
and,
did.
and even Rob was like, please just tie me up, do something else.
I feel like it came back around though. Like it was like beyond. Like it'd gone for so long that it was.
No,
like,
it
ending
went-
again.
Yeah, it
Then
was
it broke.
funny. It wasn't funny. It was funny again, but then it just kept going, man. Like, it really needs to get cut down a little bit. You guys just punching him, basically to the point of
Thought it was
unconscious.
Some of us were having fun
A
with
little
it.
sketch.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys see that?
Oh, what's
Non-lethal
that?
damage. Oh yeah.
What is it? That's how I
Yeah,
remember.
you did get the full Nelson in.
Great.
I just remember the one quote of Gemma being like, I just go out to the lobby and be like, hey, you, like you
Just
come take a punch, like you,
Step right up.
you take a whack up, yeah, step right up. That was
No, you don't have to
hilarious.
pay anything. Just knock them out. Christ sakes. I got a -1, so I can't do it. -1 to strength.
Oh yeah, because he got charmed at the bar the night before when you guys were planning your little expedition to the temple.
I think he got
Yeah,
pretty
we're
charmed.
getting a little ahead. We'll backtrack to some of the other things, but since we're on it,
No, I mean that's pretty much where we're at.
With-
Because
well, we
already
missed the
covered-
stuff with the. I want to talk more about the Silver Circle, but we'll come
I
back.
think
to
we
that.
covered that enough, but yeah.
All right. Well,
What other stuff about the Silver Circle other than having to mediate the sort of the unsteady peace between Varendrel and them?
well, I guess
Maybe-
I wanted to hear your, because this is the time I can finally hear everyone's like player thoughts on stuff. Is like, what were your thoughts going through your head as you were encountering that? Like, Because you also sort of came up with a plan to talk to them, but did you expect it to sort of have that confrontation and have this major fracture and sort of semi-create or spark a civil war?
No.
No.
I thought we were just going to talk to one person, and then it ended up being a speech, right? Hannah, the player, was very nervous about doing a speech. But
I was nervous about that whole thing.
I mean, that was one of those things where I didn't want to sort of overshadow the RP there, but because Gemma has high charisma, I'd be like, oh well, at least help her, and throw in or something, give her advantage. But
once again, you guys giving the most important charisma checks to a character who is charismatic when she's talking, but isn't. Yeah, I know it's great.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that's what makes the game fun. Is you have to, if you play the game without going straight to your strengths, it makes for conflict, I think.
You know how I play. I'm always one for flaws and dumb stats in a character.
That's how you always play, Charlie.
Which, I mean, it's fun. No one in this party seems like super crazy. Like, everyone has their specialization.
Sure.
And you guys always kind of just try shit as long as it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I love the RP of that, trying to sort of overcome our ups and downs. But yeah, you were talking to the Silver Circle about this thing. I don't know if I think maybe we, in the back of our minds, we thought there might be some sort of conflict, but I think to me it was something a little bit bigger than, what the Soul Survivors were trying to get into. And I don't even think we were going to talk to the Silver Circle at first if it wasn't for Warenthar. That was just sort of...
No, you weren't. Yeah, I don't think that was part of the original plan, and so
of course
that interaction happened.
Actually, most of the stuff that happened in Varendrel isn't anything that we planned. I think the original
you guys just wanted an in and out,
and then I told you we should have just walked around. But nothing. I don't think we expected any of that other than getting supplies and moving on to the next area. But this was so pivotal. Not only for Willa, but for what was happening in the sort of the lore of Galatolon, the New Domar.
The Damarian Empire and everything. Yeah, I feel like it really. I tried to steep it more into that because I knew it was one of the last major areas that you guys were going to go to before you moved on. So I wanted to make sure that had more of that conflict of the magic. But yeah, I gotta say, on my end, Varendrel was some of my favorite stuff in the campaign so far, because for one, just I didn't know where it was going to go, but also I felt like there was a lot of pivotal moments that happened. Everything that happened with Willa there was there's stuff with Anton going on there. There's stuff with Razik and Gemma. You had stuff going on too. I don't know. It was cool.
That was an incredulous look.
I'm just trying to remember what Gemma actually went through. Other than
you just had inter party stuff going on.
I had a lot of RP.
More inter party stuff. I guess. Well,
trying to support.
Well, Redguard Keep was more Gemma, and we had just come from that. So
yeah, for sure. And
this was also the first big city you guys actually went to.
Oh yeah.
That had kind of more than just one thing going on. Mm-hmm. Because once you did all the Silver Circle stuff, they gave you kind of a couple different tasks. I think, they wanted you to look into that guy, the priest, and then they gave you tickets to the theater, and then.
Oh yeah.
And you got access. You got access to the ship.
Yeah.
Too.
Right.
That was where you made that connection.
I don't think were you prepared for us to go to the theater in that respect? I mean, after we had solved the Silver Circle's dilemma, and I'm like, can you get us into the theater? You gotta get the passes. Try to throw that charisma around so that we can go.
Honestly, I hadn't fully developed the theater at all until you hinted at that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And so you kept mentioning the theater, so I was like, I should probably make something for the theater when they go there. So then I did, and it happened to line up with our Halloween episode. So that's where that horror element came in. But yeah, no, it was very surface level storefront theater.
No, and it
You
was a
were
good
all like,
opportunity.
we want to go there. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'll make something for it.
I only used it for Gemma's RP stuff and character stuff. You know,
No, yeah, I
small
love
town
it.
girl, like wanting to like get into something that she could never ever in her wildest dreams afford before meeting up with
For
this
sure.
bunch of clowns. Not you, Will. You're cool.
I was waiting for Wes to have a whole one-man show ready.
I know,
for
everyone-
him.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone, I kept telling you to set back your expectations a little bit. I'm not.
No,
not a
Wes is going
monkey
to practice his stand-up routine.
I'm not going to be juggling balls and doing this whole one-man show. I said temper your expectations a little bit.
It's a good thing you killed off some of the actors because we would have gone the next night too. Let's go see the show every night.
They even got the understudies.
Oh, he's good. They're good.
Yeah.
No, it lined up really well with the Halloween episode, I think. Also,
Yeah, that's true.
It did tie
Well-
into another part of the city that you didn't really ever explore because we were sort of in a rush at that point too.
The
Was the
magic-
whole the Starweaver Museum?
Right. Oh, that's why I took the
Yeah.
book too. We wanted the book. We were like,
Yeah,
let's just return the
because
story.
he took the guy who unleashed the unspeakable horror had taken a tome from the restricted area of the Starweaver Museum, and a little story around that is sort of the Starweavers were the magic guild in Varendrel before the Empire said no more, right? No more magic. So it became reduced to a museum. And if you had gone to the museum, it would have been like, oh, look at all this stuff. It would have been very much propaganda. Look at how this magic ruined their lives, and look at all look at them at their grand power. They thought themselves better than the gods, and how they used their power for their own good, and it didn't help anyone out. Very much imperial propaganda was what that museum was.
Jen was like,
But it did hold old magic items in it.
Right. That's why I wanted to go.
Right.
Amazing.
So
Well, you guys picked
Go ahead.
you picked the temple heist over the museum heist.
Yeah.
Although I guess the
Compared
temple
to-
heist was before the museum.
Yeah.
It
no,
was.
but you were right.
it was right
about
before
that, Wes. We were in a hurry at that point to try to get out of there.
You were in a
I
hurry.
think that the tensions were escalating throughout the city because once the Civil War started, there were things in motion, I believe, that were going on, which was expediting our revisit to Werenthar as well, because we had to catch back up with him after we talked to the Silver Circle. And then I swear, everywhere we go, we can't just sit down and enjoy a show or have a sandwich. There's always got to be a werebore or an unspeakable horror. Or
Right.
You say that, but you know what? We did have the one great sit-down time at the restaurant inside
That's true.
oh god,
the hotel. The hotel.
Yeah, nothing happened at the fancy restaurant.
Ooh.
Yeah, nothing happened at the fancy restaurant. The only thing that
But right
happened was
after
that was right after. But the only thing that happened at the restaurant was that was the first time Razik saw Lanira pass through, and he didn't say anything.
Oh yeah.
He didn't say anything.
Forgot
He
about
didn't say
that.
anything.
Had he dreamt of her that night or
Yeah.
the night before?
The next night, I
Next
think.
It was that night.
Yeah.
And he,
Yeah.
We
and
saw
that's when
her.
he got enchanted.
We
What
saw
was
her
that?
the next day, right? At the Starfall
Yeah.
Fall Lounge. And then she
Yes.
walked up to him and was flirting with him. And then we had to go and
Oh
Watch it
yeah,
back
that's
out.
why we did it.
that's why we
Yeah.
were
Oh yeah, that's why we were kicking his ass.
Yeah. She charmed him. Yeah,
Yeah.
she charmed him.
Yeah.
I'm okay,
because,
guys. No, you're still charmed.
So that was just another wrench thrown in of someone trying to take advantage of the situation going on with Varendrel. Just like sort of evil forces trying to come in. So she was like this succubus, trying to get in there into the Silver Circle and then hopefully try and charm them all and take it over amongst all the chaos. So that ended up being sort of like a side story.
Huh.
But Razek sort of fell right into it. It was just like, ooh, ladies, right? And,
Failed to save completely,
which was
and
totally not
I think
planned.
Rob would have failed that anyway.
Can I fail it on purpose? Do I have to resist?
It makes sense with
She's
his
so
character,
hot.
so I'm kind of glad it worked out that way.
Did we? You were saying that, and now I just remembered like that she was trying to take over parts of the Silver Circle. Was that a concern that we had to address before we left? Other people who were tempted by her, because I know the priest dude who wasn't necessarily in the where we found her.
Yeah, Morthal.
Yeah, Mortho. But the rest of the Silver Circle, and maybe even any of the opposing members, was that a possibility of where they were?
Well, it's
swimming?
funny you mention that because when you, not to get too ahead, but like when Razek infiltrated Nestorin's mansion,
Oh, right.
and he found that diary sort of journal, was looking through there, and there were some mentions of Nestorin. Being
Write that down,
interested.
Hannah. Put a pin on that. Write that down. We got to get back to that.
Wait,
And-
who's
and-
Nestorin?
Nestorin Alara was the rich guy that Razek stole from, who had the Ebon Jewel.
Oh, right.
He's the son of, I can't remember his name, but he was the main evil dude from the Silver Circle. But anyway, that was sort of her connection, sort of snaking her way in.
Razek has that journal.
He does.
According to my
He does.
notes. Okay,
Mhm.
nice. We should read that. We should have read that on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had like 3 days, and it was raining. We could have tucked in with a nice book.
There's a lot of documents I've given that you haven't read yet.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that
throwing that out
I'm telling
there.
you, Every
Next
time we sit
episode.
down, sit down. Every time we sit down.
Do you have the audiobook version for them? Maybe if it was in the shape of a giant ear, they would.
I didn't read every book I picked up in Skyrim, Wes. Okay.
Right.
Shoved
fair.
6 copies in my
Totally
backpack.
Totally fair.
But, yeah,
There's still
we
those
should probably
books that you
take
got
a-
from Oaktown
inventory.
that you haven't really looked through either.
The main one I know was the dragon one, which we couldn't
We
read.
did look a
anyways.
little bit into that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we did
So-
look through that one recently.
We next time we should stop. We should take an inventory and kind of break down. I know I have a potion that we haven't identified yet for some reason, or maybe you did tell us and I didn't write down what it actually did. But I saw that in my inventory last game.
I feel like you should.
It's the. You want me to tell you what it is, and maybe you can tell me if you told. Go to the
Potions.
inventory.
What are they?
I broke down all my shit into special bags, and now I can't find. Oh, potion of blue liquid. That could be anything. Mana.
Hmm.
Spice.
Nope. Do you want to tell us, Wes, or should we just wait until we get into the game?
For which thing in particular?
This potion of blue liquid we picked up.
You gotta identify it in game, like.
Do you remember when it was picked up?
No.
Exactly. It's
Honestly,
just water.
I do believe it is a potion of cold resistance that you got in the ice cave.
That sounds right, because I don't have that on me. And
Yeah.
I
that's
remember you
weird.
saying that. Okay, I'm actually going to take that right.
Yeah, so you probably should have.
Been long enough, you can go ahead and mark it. It's fine.
Is there anything else in inventories that while we have Wes?
Oh man.
What's this item, dude?
So many flasks, water skins.
So many. I like
So
how
good.
Gemma is collecting the water flasks.
Just kids, yeah. I mean, they're useful though, right? And I got a bag.
And you don't fill them all with water, right? You got some wine, you got some
Yeah, I got a little bit of everything.
ale
Yeah.
skins.
Some coffee, some.
Yeah. coffee, and apples. Always gotta have some apples. Should probably offload or sell this Demarian armor at some point too.
Yeah, you probably don't want that in Korea.
Career.
Yeah, so stupid.
Is that on purpose? Or
Yes, he did it on purpose. What else do we have? Oh yeah, so after the Silver Circle, we had that heist, Razik's heist, right? Or was that?
Well,
was there anything?
No,
What?
after the Silver Circle, you guys went to the temple for the crazy priest doing his satanic rituals.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Well,
I got to use
Yeah.
my tase on him.
Yeah, that was a good fight too.
Yeah.
She got away. That's what it was. She got
Yeah.
Didn't get
away.
away.
I thought she would be coming back at some point before we left
Yeah.
Varendrel,
If he had stayed longer, I mean, you were in a rush. It was time for you to go. But I mean, if you'd stayed, she would have.
Did we leave a note with anybody, like saying, like, "Hey, watch out for this lady"? We just
No,
kind
we're
of
gonna
left
have to.
it.
I mean,
we're gonna have to
you-
ear
I
don't think-
somebody.
No, because
Morthell's
Morthel
aware.
was out of his
That's true.
trance.
Morthell's
Yeah.
And you did tell him to talk to the Silver Circle about her.
Okay.
You did say that. I think
Good
that
cover.
was Gemma who brought that up. So that was a good
Nice.
thing to say.
Yeah. And I imagine he would have talked in the church to people, going like, "Oh God."
Oh, God.
Anton made a good point. I remember after that fight, he was like, talk to the Silver Circle about Lanira, and he was convinced to fight for that. So it's not like it was all left open. There's someone there who's aware. So
That's the only thing I'm concerned about, because leaving those kind of loose ends made me nervous. To see that.
Happens.
Yeah, but I mean, you want to complete your side quest log, you know. Off to it.
Next
You
episode,
want
she
that-
comes
you want
up on the
that
side of the boat.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
on the other side of the boat. It's like
Pullman and
my
Lanira.
they're teaming up. Oh my god.
But before we get to because we're coming up on our break here soon.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the when you went back to Werenthar. You went back to Werenthar, and you were like, "Oh, we're gonna go talk to him." And there was the fight with the Demarian Knight and the War Priestess of Arathis, and all the guards who were already attacking Werenthar in his hybrid form.
And the Kieran.
Yeah, but I think Hannah, you were out for that episode, right?
I was out for the first half of that fight.
First half.
Yeah.
That was an epic fight. The War Priestess brought in the Kieran, the mythical celestial creature.
I do remember
and
Hannah
the-
coming back, because you were you knocking out, or was Mike playing
I was
Willa?
playing Will at some point.
And knocking out guards into 2 feet of water, where they definitely survived.
Yes. At some point, you were knocking them out, and then I think Raz, of all people, was propping them up on the rock or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember that was
Nice.
it's a complicated fight as far as because I think one of them actually went over the edge.
Yeah, I went over the
Actual
water.
knight.
One did go over the edge of the waterfall. Yeah.
The one knight, not the war priestess, but the one Demarian knight got knocked out and was sort of weighed down by his armor. So they
Yes.
Went over.
Some of the
You were
guards went
flying.
over.
That's right. You were flying,
Right.
swinging that maul around.
Well, because the Kieran was flying too.
Was hovering over the water.
With the water is
And-
difficult terrain too. So
Yeah.
Mike had Willa use the gem flight and hover over the water and did some attacks there.
Or did you do that, Hannah? Did you start flying first and then I
I
finished
think
it off? I
Hannah
think it was
was-
the other way around. I think
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we started the fight and we did one round, and then that was the end of that
and
episode.
I finished it off.
And then I think you finished it off. Yeah, I might have ran in and started a jump flight beforehand.
You
I
did,
don't remember.
I think.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to
Yeah.
get to the area
That makes sense.
Yeah.
without the difficult terrain
Yeah.
from the edge.
Speaking of flight, I haven't seen. Did Gemma fly during that? Or I haven't seen her fly in a long time.
She flew when skimming ahead. She flew on the boat while we were escaping. There was
Yeah, that's right.
And she'd been like since we left Hell, she hadn't gotten. She didn't go into her celestial form. She just did that to like let's get on the boat or let's take care of all of this stuff so that we can get on the boat and skipping ahead to that fight, which that was.
Did you get like enlarged during that fight with the Damarian Knight?
No, in the Hell, in the frozen Hell, Stygia. Is that where we went? Or
did it not happen again against the Kieran and the
No,
guards there?
no,
okay.
it had been quite a long time because it was Stygia, and then it was all that time until that boat fight.
Yeah, I didn't fly. I didn't fly during.
Well, no, not celestial mode, but you went like I thought you went like enlarged mode.
Yeah, you like grew sizes in that other fight. That's true.
Yeah.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Someone went big mode.
Yeah, you got large. You got the same size as that guy.
Oh, maybe from your wild magic? I don't remember that, but
Maybe.
I remember.
just a lot of us being like, maybe that happened, maybe it didn't.
Hannah, notes quick.
I don't remember. The only thing I remember about that waterfall fight was being a little on edge because of how you had the Kieran summon, but
Like
the other thing wasn't exactly a summon. So there was just this hard trying to like figure out how to knock these guys out, or without having to fully kill them, like break concentration, but it's not a concentration. And oh shit, there's this Kieran here, and what are we gonna do? Is swinging for like 30,
She was also casting like spirit guardians and shit.
Yeah, that was a wild fight, and I was a little concerned, but
that was one of the harder enemies I threw at y'all, Vanya. But you take care of them all. I mean,
yeah. Well, I remember distinctly, if Anton didn't engage with the Kieran in front of Gemma, that would have probably knocked her out in one.
Yeah, the Kieran probably would have knocked Gemma
So
down.
he took a lot of that damage for Gemma. And again, that's cool because he protects her.
Yeah, it was so awesome. We also had Savamil too.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, he was there. He was there buffing and blessing and
Healing, and
He's dead to me now. No, he's dead to me now.
Missing with his crossbow.
Why do I even use this thing?
He even got a new crossbow and still couldn't hit a broadside of a barn with the damn thing.
Yeah,
It's like
we'll get to
that or
fight.
Sacred Flame.
Use your slots for
Almost
heals,
never
buddy.
works.
Use your actions for heals.
Blesses and heals.
Yeah, but that was an intense fight. I'm glad we got through it. And at the end, where Thar just flew away, there was no way to calm him down. I think you had alluded to his sort of like
Bestial.
It sort of like came out and he just took off.
And I mean, full disclosure, Hannah was not there for that, and that was like a pivotal thing that we didn't want. I mean, we can say that. I mean, we didn't want Hannah to miss out on that interaction, so that was pivoted a little bit, but it totally fed into what the story was. He was overcome in his werewyvern form and took off, and then until the next time you saw him.
worked out.
But then you didn't kill the knight. You killed Vanya, but you didn't kill the knight, and you let him go free. And you actually kind of made partial friends with him. He was sort of on a cool, sort of understanding level with you guys, if you remember.
Oh.
Where he was like, "I respect what you did, but don't come across me again." And you let him leave, and he took one of his unconscious friends with him.
Because I killed the shit out of that war priestess.
Yes, You killed Vakken.
Lightning bolt.
Yeah, you did. You did kill her.
It was a lightning bolt. Yeah.
And then none of these guys recognized Anton, right?
No. Oh, no, they recognized you all as a party. And they did recognize Anton. The knight did. Knew him by reputation.
They knew us by reputation too. The Soul Survivors.
Yeah.
I told you we shouldn't have said anything.
I mean, yeah, this was the first city where you guys really started hammering that.
This is the only
That
city.
title.
Yeah.
I guess a little bit in villages here and there.
No, we were workshopping it, and then when the Silver Circle was like, "Who are you?" and we're like,
yeah, that's something we kind of skipped over with the Silver Circle stuff. Was like that's when you officially dropped the name. But you were sort of workshopping it offline, right? Like off the game a little bit, and we're coming up with some names and then
some chats.
Yeah, and it kind of came in that way.
You just that team names is something you always just chat about forever, then you just end up with something.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it comes across better organically than trying to okay, this is what we're gonna do, you know. But I think out of everything we had talked about, it just kind of clicked after several encounters, I think. So
yeah, kind of came together. I like it. Came together nicely. But well, I think we're ready for a break. Charlie, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I don't transition us to breaks tonight. Hey guys, and welcome back to Talkin Terramir, episode 3. We're the Tales of Terramir D&D podcast. I just tired myself out by seeing if I could slide into the room with the transition. Sorry about that. But yeah. But yeah, so we're recapping our first arc of our D&D stream, Tales of Terramir. Like we said before, if you like what we're doing, you can catch us live every Wednesday on Twitch. You can catch full recordings of that on YouTube and any podcast apps. And if you want to see shorts and stuff, shorts are also on YouTube. We have Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, and one other one, right? Facebook. Yes.
all of those.
All the good socials that aren't the one that won't be named anymore. You can find us at Tales of Terramir on all of those, pretty much. And yeah, if you like us, give us a sub or a follow on Twitch. We really appreciate it. But we'll get back into our recap for our final mini arc of our big arc.
I had something I wanted to talk about too, actually. That when just basically off of our last our conversation about that waterfall fight and stuff, and how Anton sort of took that brunt of that damage for Gemma. I've noticed, and Justin's not here, so it's hard. I kind of wanted him to be here so that we could discuss this a little bit. But I've kind of noticed this trend where Anton is starting to understand how powerful Gemma is, and that maybe he doesn't actually need to protect her anymore. And I don't know if it's like just Anton or Justin coming to that realization, but I think that Gemma also feels that there are a lot of things that Anton does protect her from, no matter how powerful she could be. Like it's not just a question of what she's capable of. It's just, the parts that she's vulnerable, that make her need her friends and need Anton. I don't know. Just something that I had been noticing between the two.
Oh yeah, it's been great. The relationship that's been developing with the role play between your two characters is so cool. Like the father-daughter sort of dynamic, but then there's sort of that. There's almost like there's this developing like almost respect sort of / fear that I feel like Anton's having. I don't want to speak for him, but
right.
That's what I'm sensing is like that dynamic. But I don't think Gemma also understands either. Like I think everyone around Gemma has been like, wow, oh my, she's so powerful now. But I don't think Gemma doesn't understand like how powerful she even is, or you know what I mean, like understand her
Sure.
own strengths.
Yeah, like she's
Like,
still
it's
figuring out
still
all
new.
her spells and
Yeah.
Right.
everything like that. I think a lot of the campaign, I never really know what you're going to cast.
I don't think that she does necessarily at first. And there was a deliberate move to like not use the most powerful things at first and try to like at first when the first kind of episodes, she was using her hand axe because she didn't want to unleash anything that she had, even though I had it all at my disposal. But slowly she's getting used to it and we're encountering more dangerous enemies. But at the same time, she can go down in one swipe if she's not careful. And it's not even just the combat. I feel that Gemma depends on people because she has a lot of loss in her life. She lost her parents. She's had to leave her sister. That's why she's I think really comfortable with Willa and having that kind of sisterly relationship too. And Anton is just someone there to protect her and actually genuinely care for her. And he has this whole other backstory that revolves around that. And I think it might even scare him because of he's protecting this girl that has all this power, but oh shit, she's killing all of these dudes. Did maybe he make a mistake or did he make the right choice? Is it really dangerous? I feel like a part of him feels that way, but I think he stands by his decision as well. Just because of this stuff that he's had to go through with Sulain from his backstory. And it's just something I'd like to keep exploring with this character because I think they play well off of each other.
It's a fun piece of role play in the story for sure. Yeah.
I do think part of it is also Justin learning how to play D&D more.
And I think that's great.
And better.
Oh yeah. I mean, we knew that from the beginning.
Did he take?
He's new, so.
Yeah. Did he take Sentinel? Or
he didn't take Sentinel.
No.
He has Mage Slayer.
Mage Slayer. Oh, good. So he can take her down when he needs to.
If he needs to, yeah. That's gonna be the final arc. Where...
Oh no.
No, but that came from his training. You know, that came from his training to kill mages.
Oh, that's great. I didn't actually realize that. That's good.
He had that before we even started the campaign. So.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because you guys started a bit higher level.
Yeah, he has been doing great as far as getting acclimated to his abilities. He's knowing when to use them and using them a lot more, which I'm happy to see.
Yeah, he's getting a lot better with that.
And
talking about getting acclimated to new abilities and everything. I don't know if it was super visible on stream, but we did transition from our old VTT to a new one. And that was a whole acclimation.
Feels like it was pretty obvious.
Yeah. Still figuring things out and stuff.
It's a transition, so we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we appreciate everyone if you're sticking through with it. But no, it's getting better too, I think, and it's going to be better in the long run for us. So I think. And
be ready to watch a stream on our old one with Mike running.
Yeah. It'll move a lot faster.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I have to go back, take step backs and relearn.
Oh yeah, you only have to click one or two things to attack. You don't have to click 30 things.
True.
Speaking of more abilities too, Hannah, dragon arms.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Did that happen? On the boat. Yeah. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead too.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
I know we're gonna get there. Let's get through Razik's job for Harlan real quick, and then finding out about Alfira Ravenwing and getting through that stuff, and let's get to the boat, and then we'll get to all that real fun
risky
stuff.
It was risky. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
But to at that point having to help Razik on his journey, and we were in the middle of this civil war and stuff. I think it was kind of risky, but I think that helped with the tension of the activity, because afterwards we were really on the clock. So.
Oh, and he got so lucky with so many of his rolls.
He got shot in the face with a gun trap, right?
Black powder shotgun. So he did take that. But I never told anyone. or any of you guys this, but if he didn't disable that trap around the crystal, which he discovered it was a magical trap, that was going to place him on hold. It was going to freeze him in place until the guards could get there and surround him. So he disabled it, so it didn't happen. But then thankfully he quickly slipped out and through the window and then down, and then he passed all his stealth stuff, so they didn't see him slip out. So
Very good
that
rolls.
was the part I was a little nervous about, but
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to just see you guys kind of let him do his own thing, which I think worked out for the better, because I doubt all those stealth checks would have gotten passed with everybody.
yeah,
I was not convinced that we should have let him go on his own, but yeah, it did work out.
yeah.
Some things like that, I think he would be better on his own, just because of. I think you don't get disadvantage on stealth because you have the mithril armor, whereas the adamantine. No, you have the adamantine. Never mind, you do. So
She has adamantine.
She has adamantine. Anton has the mithril shield.
But he is also at disadvantage for Mizar chart, I think, because it's plate, right?
It is plate. So he has
plate.
Yes.
I thought plate was just normal. Oh no, plate, not scale.
Having,
Sorry. Yeah, scale is
plate.
normal plate.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so it wouldn't have gone well
Ka-ching,
for everyone going in there, and Savamil too wouldn't have been good at the stealth either. He has heavy armor, so
Yeah,
he has
he
a
does.
disadvantage too, and he's not very subtle.
Oh my
So-
god! I'm just now realizing what kind of a liability he was.
He was such a liability. Get that guy out of here.
Surprisingly, good amount of tanks in the party up until that point.
Well, it's really
What's that?
good.
The tankiness of the party
Oh
between
yeah.
Gemma, Anton, and Saab.
Willa, and
Willa.
That's gonna happen.
Willa the Gem Dragonborn,
Oh.
Gemma the
People get us mixed up all the time.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah, that's the name.
constant.
We look
We've talked about that before, like Gemma,
Yeah.
Gemma, but Gem Dragonborn, Willa.
Oh, you did it. You just did it.
No, I'm saying like
Oh, okay.
How
why is
yeah,
it-
that name and stuff. Yeah.
like Willa should be
Yeah.
Gemma. Because Willa is the Gem Dragonborn.
During Raz's heist and stuff too, we also had. Do we have the Pangenans just like fugue stating people too again?
You mean afterward when so that was a difficult decision too, right? Is like Razik/Rob had to decide if he wanted to take the jewel back to Harlan, who gave him the job, who was the gnome sort of black market jeweler.
Oh right.
If he wanted to give it to Harlan, if he wanted to keep it, or give it to Pangenan, his people, who told him to do that through his head.
Yeah, they like took over Harlan though, right?
No.
No.
So that's where it kind of got a little confusing.
Yeah. To be fair, that was confusing. When he said I want to go to Harlan, I thought he was taking it to the Pangenans. I got that crossed myself too.
Well, no, I
Oh,
thought when he was talking to Harlan, someone took over Harlan, like a Pangenan took
He
over
did,
Harlan,
so
and then
that-
told
yes.
him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where these Pangenans have these like,
right.
yeah, these freaky like fugue state powers where they're taking over people.
Yes. So that I can see where that can be confusing. But he was talking to Harlan. Harlan gave him the job, and then he got taken over by the Pangenan mind powers, and they spoke through Harlan and said, "Don't give this to who I'm talking through. Don't give it to Harlan. Give
Don't
it
give
to
it to
us.
me. Give it to me.
Yeah, give it to the Pangenans over there." And so that's what he ultimately decided to do, to follow his people. And so Harlan never got that.
Nope.
But the Pangenans got both the
So not-
amethyst
Yeah, they have both.
crystal and the Varendrel.
I think that was important for his character, though.
It was.
At the first time we did that, the amethyst gem that we found, he was very sort of indecisive about that whole thing, and he was still sort of on that edge once he had the ebon jewel in his hand, and it's just like, dude, you have to make this decision for yourself, because this is a this is your people's thing. This is part of your quest, and like, I don't know, it's in your destiny. Your destiny is in your hands, really, and you have to make that decision. And I think he was true to his people, and it kind of reflected that in his character, I think.
Yeah, and it ended up being kind of a cool closing point, partial, not full, but when you got to Elfira Ravenwing, gave her the Ebon Jewel, you found out a little bit more about, because she was the one who rescued you from the cart
Right.
at the very beginning. So you got a little bit more knowledge there of, oh, the Empire uses the magic. They were the ones who wiped your memories and placed you in this cage.
Interesting. The Empire is using the magic as well.
Oh, come on.
No, they've outlawed it. Of course they're using it.
Yeah.
They're the bad guys. Allegedly, maybe not. We'll see how it plays out.
But they worship the gods of light. Okay. So that's where it's confusing.
The alleged gods of light. No.
We should read those books.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that was good for him though, because I think he initially got the job because he was trying to find his way into some magic items, and ultimately he decided to give it up, right?
You guys had heard about the Ebon Jewel from someone before, right?
No. He was sort of searching for magic items, and
Gotcha. Yeah.
but he was sort of, to be fair, he was sort of cautious because the first time he asked around, the guards came looking for you guys, remember? But then that was when you first got into town. The guards confronted you when he was sort of brazenly asking where are magic items. But then Harlan was like, hey, you guys interested in some magic items?
I don't think it went that way. I think that he actually prompted, didn't he? Also?
No, I think that's sort of what threw him off too. Was
really?
Like, he was like, "Oh, see, you know."
Oh, I got you.
Really,
okay.
Yeah.
You go either way with Razik for me, really.
It's yeah. But yeah, so that's. What was I leading into that?
Was Varendrel on that map that you guys originally saw though, with the Dragon Balls, Dragon Jewels?
Point.
Where the circles were?
Yeah.
Olarov's map. Olarov's map.
Olarov's map.
Or were those teleportation areas?
Piece of the campaign. Totally big piece of the story.
I threw that map
Throwing that out there.
That's a Blair Witch reference.
So yeah, Olarov's map.
I guess
3 places circled on it. Varendrel was not one of them.
Varendrel was one of them?
Wasn't.
Was not, okay.
No.
But the
extra
Fire was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Actually, in our game under documents, if you wanted to look there. But you have under Oaktown, and then there is Melkerdor / Career, Kingdom of Career, under the volcano, and then there is also another circle of the Turin Bluff, which is in Pangina.
Oh my god, the big one is... That's where the big circle is. Damn it. We're in the opposite direction.
Well, no, the circle just gets bigger every time you give them another jewel.
Yeah. We don't have to get so close. We can...
No, they already have it there.
Oh. Okay. Well, it looks like we might have to circle back.
But yeah, so you guys... Well, Razik picked up the jewel, and then you guys handed it off to Ulfira. Did I get that one right, Wes?
Ulfira, yeah.
Yeah, Ulfira. Yeah. And then well, before that, because you went back to the fairy forge. Forged in Fairies.
Fayfire Blades.
Fayfire Blades.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We don't get paid. We don't.
Yeah, Fayfire Blades, and then they hooked you up with the boat, right? Or the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was it a council member who has a relation with Fayfire Blades? and we checked in with them?
No,
or
so I
did
think
we get a straight
this is
from
where
our-
I think you kept getting confused, Mike. Was the one from the council, the one
Basically
who
gave you
actually
like
had
a
access
letter
to
of
the ship?
introduction.
The one who actually had access to the ship was one of the two that you were friends with. The other one was the one that had the connection, is married to the owner of the Fayfire Blades shop. So I think you were kind of combining the two into one, which is fine.
It's just easier that way.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway,
We got there. It's fine.
you got there.
He was allowed to sit on the council, but he wasn't granted the rank of a memorable character.
I got you the boat. Yeah.
So anyway, there's that connection with Fayfire Blades, and then that was
Yeah,
sort of a
but yeah,
hidden-
so you guys went back there, and then they kind of put the ticking clock on you, where it's like, oh, well, you got to be on there by tonight. And then that's when Raz did the heist. Then you dropped off the thing, and then you guys spent like 30 minutes talking about what to do with your damn horses.
Oh my
right
god.
to the horses.
All right.
I
So
missed that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
weren't there. That was after that big fight, and you were kind of you missed
Right.
that, Hannah.
I came back and all of a sudden, like, the horses were gone. I was like, no.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Why didn't we bring the horses, though?
I
They weren't allowed.
tried. I
did
tried.
ask.
There was a
They
lot of
asked.
resistance to that. Not like, horses have never been on a boat before, but it's fine.
there wasn't a
They
place
said-
to properly secure them. They only really could have fit on the deck, main deck of the ship,
Sure.
and it was like a several-day journey. And it was their ship. They were like, we don't want to just have these horses on our deck of the ship, shitting and nowhere to eat. There's no stabling.
Oh.
We'll just-
Yeah, and you couldn't find an
Drop it all.
apothecary. You couldn't find an apothecary that would let you get like a social stability horse.
A social
A
Charlie.
fucking what is it? A support horse.
Right, yeah.
Or horse.
Well, so that was
Oh.
the thing, right? Originally, we weren't even planning on taking the river. We were going to ride out from Varendrel to the border, but this opportunity had like come up. They're like, "Hey, you can take
No
the
rows,
take the boat,"
yeah.
and then that's what actually put like you were right. That's what put the time limit on us. On
Yeah,
top of
'cause
the Civil War happening. So
You guys were talking about the little Civil War, but I like as someone like streaming you guys and kind of listening and watching, I didn't feel that clock at all. It wasn't until you guys were like, "Oh well, we gotta get on this boat now." That's when things started like kicking off.
I think Wes mentioned some stuff, like as we were like walking around town, it sounded like there were more guards and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Right? That's-
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I think it ultimately
I tried
just
to
kind of
push
put
it that way. Yeah.
it put a cap on the amount of things that we can do that we had time for. Like we couldn't go to the museum, we only had time to finish
Right.
out the Ebb and Jewel heist and
Yeah.
get our shit together before
Yeah.
we had to leave. But
Yeah, because I think the big reckoning of that was that fight with the Kieran and the priestess.
mm,
And then then you guys came back and then we're like, oh, we gotta get on the ship now.
yeah,
And
we
then you
had
guys-
just enough time to get back and do that.
And then getting to the ship was a whole thing.
Yeah. Well, wait, hold on a second. I want to go back to these horses because we spent a lot of
You
money.
want to go back to the horses?
Well, we
Okay.
spent a lot
I was
of
trying
money on
to
the horses.
spend
Yeah.
less time on the horses.
It was.
They had a
it
good
was
ride.
little
They had a good
frustrating.
ride.
I'm just glad we didn't have to leave Butter behind a second time.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
Back-
Butter wasn't with you.
Yeah, no, I know, but still, it was hard to leave the horses behind. I think, in my opinion, but hopefully
Yeah.
they're in good hands.
Understandably.
They
Understandably.
acquired 4 new horses. I think I still have my paperwork though, so.
Oh,
Oh, I
It's
thought
still
you handed that
registered in
over.
here.
Did I? I don't remember.
Yeah, you mentioned handing that over. I think everyone did.
I guess I gotta
Official
take it out
horse
of my
papers.
inventory. I guess.
The horse fox.
Let's check. Official horse papers. Parentheses Misty.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was handed over.
we should have
Yeah,
sold
man.
them and got some money. Like, we just left them in the stables, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
You gave them
sold
to the Fayfire Blades guy, but
Oh. Oh, okay.
yeah, you gave them to Zelfar.
It's like putting your car in the garage, you know, and you get out of town, and then you come back. And
We'll come back,
go somewhere
yeah.
to drive, right?
And
No
someone's
one thought
wrecked
about
it.
selling them. No one thought about actually selling them.
Oh, I didn't want to sell. Like, okay, so I didn't want
That
to
could
sell.
have been something.
Razik was really attached to his horse. I don't know if
As we
Justin
know,
really
yeah.
wanted to. And we didn't want to speak for Hannah. We didn't want you to. Come
I think
back and
Anton
you
could give or take on his horse.
But
Well, Tulane, you know that holds a special place for him.
and then the whole horse armor stuff. Yeah, that shit was expensive. So that was
Lasted a
a little
good
frustrating.
good trek though, and think about it, you wouldn't have been able to bring them really through the mountains anyway. That helps you feel a little better.
I guess
Slow
so.
trails.
You can't really. You wouldn't be able to bring the horses through the mountains really.
Then let's rent them next time. Because I don't want to get too
Yeah,
attached.
yeah. No
Just
more
rent them and get the insurance.
my
That's-
horses.
I'm just Wes
Horses
needs
on
to
the other
add
side of the
some.
mountains, and then it'd be good.
Maybe we can have them delivered and just met us in Korea or something.
Oh, we should have done that.
Where were you, Hannah? Where were you on that?
We're gonna
Get
get to
'em
Korea. We'll
delivered.
write a letter to the Fae Fire.
No, I'm gonna eardrop that guy. Be like, yo, send that
There
horses
you
to
go.
Korea.
Yeah, there
Can
you
you
go.
just eardrop anybody?
It's sending. So
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
anyone on this
Yeah.
plane of existence, 25.
Once you know them, yeah.
Hey, send horse to Korea. Thanks, bye.
Yeah, you guys have been having some fun with the sending now that you actually remembered you had it the last couple sessions.
Yes, it's come in very handy. I think I even put together the correct amount of words to say to Dana in the last episode, so I could just get the point across. I'm fumbling around with it for like 20 minutes.
Do the thing.
The thing, Dana, I miss you. Going away. Love you, bye.
Well, Let's get to the getting to the
Yes.
ship and leaving Varendrel, right?
Yeah, so you guys had the whole big fight
Oh,
I thought it was
man.
there.
I enjoyed that fight a lot. I don't know about all of you, but I thought that was a fun fight.
Dude,
I enjoyed that fight, and then it was also one of those moments where Wes was like, "And you guys kind of just want to get to the ship," and then
No, we're
you
gonna
were like just stuck in fighting everybody.
kill them all. Did Anton try to convince Fulman again that no, dude, I wasn't lying to you? No, what are you
I
talking
think he was
about?
sort of like, "That's not really what it is," and then
Right.
Willa knocked him out.
Yeah. Oh, you did the clothesline. That's right.
He came running at Anton. He's like, "How could you betray me?" Ah! And Willa like knocked him down, tripped him, and then knocked him out.
Oh man, awesome.
He deserved it.
Thought he had a buddy.
He's like, "Why? I
Anton.
thought you told me you didn't wanted, mate. You didn't tell me that. I thought you were like
Yeah,
the coolest
Anton."
guy."
Non-lethal warhammer to the head.
Man. Again, I stand by. You're just like Batman. You don't kill anyone. You just injure them severely.
Really hard.
Really, like they're not dead. They're not gonna be
Yeah.
walking again either.
It's either
They
dead or
didn't
not
shut
dead. So.
They got
She's
the
still
point.
on the moral high ground.
Yeah.
You're not dead, right? Come on, quit complaining. Walk it off, or don't, because it broke both your legs.
But yeah, you guys did the whole fight to the boat, and then probably
Yeah.
the biggest moment of that whole fight was
The Minotaur.
Oh, right.
well, he was the physically biggest moment.
Yeah. Well, that was an odd sight too. But what are you talking about?
Oh, Savamil leaving you
Savamil.
guys.
Oh yes, that guy. I told you
Just
he's dead
piecing
now.
out through a portal.
Yeah.
So close.
So that was probably unexpected, huh?
It was.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it.
I mean, we were all going to the same direction, and
He would have got there
Yes.
eventually. He got greedy.
Yeah.
he got greedy.
He got greedy.
Well, maybe he was getting impatient with us dicking around in the theater and stealing jewels and
He's like,
stuff.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
He said he warned us a couple times, right?
He did warn you many times.
So we have to stop at every restaurant and do this whole like 4-course meal. All I want is the fish.
We gotta go back to the cave.
right?
Right.
Yeah, Sav. Yeah.
He was mostly patient. He held out, but then a portal opens up, and he saw an opportunity and decided to take it. And
Chose poorly.
he
Yeah.
chose poorly.
Yeah, he's got some explaining to do.
There's a lot going on there that you haven't fully. You heard some details, but yeah, there's a lot.
You kind of just open and close that portal, right? There wasn't any chance for the players to hop through it with him.
I think most of us were close to the boat or on the boat.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
far away. I mean, if they had really tried to dash into it's possible, but then that would have split the party, and that would have been interesting too. But yeah, no, everyone was pretty far away, and some of them was kind of back. So.
He could have dove in the water too. He didn't even have to get in the boat. He could have just caught up with us.
He saw his magic item they've been wanting, which you never asked about until you used the eardrop to contact him. And then
Yeah, you guys never asked about
asked about
Salvavel.
his quest. No, we've done that a couple of times. We were like, "What are you doing?" "I have to go get an artifact over at this volcano or in this mountain."
Right, yeah,
area.
that's true.
We've asked
Yeah,
him
he got
about
the
it, but
basic.
he never got into any details. But we couldn't do anything about it if we're in the other side of the continent, right?
yeah.
We were headed in that direction, and we knew. I think that we were always intending on helping him on the way out there. But I mean, it was sort of like a destination that was out of reach, and we had to deal with all the other stuff. We had to get out of the Empire first, I think.
Yeah.
Which was the first part, Arc 1.
Out of the Empire.
Out of the Empire.
Into the mountains. Which, once again, there's a river going up into the mountains.
It's magic.
That's
it's fine.
happened. Yeah, it's magic. But yeah, he disappeared. We were all kind of in shock, I guess. But I mean, we had the Empire following us, so that was like a whole intense moment leading up to that. Even after that,
I feel like Gemma's like the least sad about Savamel. You're just like, he's fine, guys. It's just like, just keep going.
He made this choice.
Fine. We'll see it later. It's gonna be all right.
I didn't want to
Gemma-
believe. She was in denial. She didn't want to believe that he actually left. You know, maybe he dimension doored underneath the boat or something.
And I think
Gemma
Razik
the
was sort of the
backliner.
opposite. Razik was sort of the opposite spectrum. It was like, oh my god, I'm so heartbroken.
So dramatic.
Well,
Like, I miss him so much. It's like
Fine.
you barely talk to the guy,
I know.
dude.
Yeah, but Razik and Anton needed his heals so much.
That's really what it's all about, isn't
I
it?
don't know.
That's why he left.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to be funny about the whole situation. It wasn't like I didn't mean to portray that part, but it's people deal with it in different ways.
Yeah.
That kind of shock. But again, there was
Like
nothing
I
we
s-
could do about it. Go ahead. Sorry.
I still need you to play a character at some point that's just all your first impulses.
Do
it, kill him.
I have to find.
Oh,
I have
that'd be great.
to find room to do that.
I think you rated it on stream a lot, but in other campaigns, Mike gets just really out of pocket and then immediately goes, no, I don't do that.
I would love the first instinct Mike character. Yeah.
Okay, that's coming. Maybe in Veiled Threat too.
As the DM,
Complete,
do it, party wipe, session one.
complete maniacal. It's like I have all the power now.
I'm gonna get creepy. Yeah, but again, there was a lot to deal with too, and trying to focus on getting out of the Empire as well. It's a lot to think about. Even after being chased by, we just had that fight, so I don't know. I feel like a lot of things were going on. We were. It's hard to process, I guess.
Yeah, it's a lot. But so you fought that Minotaur Knight. I do want to point out that really cool moment of, well, back to, Gemma, you went into your celestial form, and then there was that cool moment of the Minotaur being sunk down into the dock, right? The boards broke away, And the Minotaur Knight like fell him. You used your spells, and then Anton was like killing him too, or Willa as well. Who was it? The one that was like fighting, like
He was after Anton, I think, because he had kind of dashed away. I believe so, and he was trying to engage in Anton. I think that's also why Gemma kind of tried to swoop in and try to knock him off the deck or through the dock, rather.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way I've been playing her is just like getting that really strong emotional response to seeing her friends getting hurt or being threatened, and she just kind of lets it all loose.
Right.
And it worked out. The roles worked out really well.
Yeah. But then you got on the ship, the Castrol, and what'd you think of the crew and the ship experience and all that?
I like that as we were going away from the dock, we had that, what was that last view of, what's his name?
Of Jane.
Of Jane, yeah. That was a
Silhouette of
nice
Jane.
cliffhanger there.
Yeah.
That was
Cool,
really
yeah.
nice cliffhanger.
Late for the party, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
But the crew was great too. I think they're all pretty different. I think
Yeah.
I like Tet the most.
Yeah.
That's the turtle.
That's the turtle.
Yeah, he
cook.
was the turtle. He was the cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely some inspiration from Tuckle from our old campaign. A little bit
Yeah.
there. Different in personality and everything, but being a cook. Being
Chef
a
Turtle, yeah.
Yeah.
Turtles are always fun to throw in here and there.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think, because you guys did a few things on the ship too. So, I mean, we had
Yeah.
Gemma not steering the ship well.
Oh man, it's like teaching your daughter how to drive, right?
Yeah.
I got this. Yeah. And
I like that
That was-
ongoing joke throughout the entire thing. Yeah.
Oh, during the Kuatoa fight, I kept meaning to go to the light, but I was like, no, I gotta. Oh man, I totally forgot to do that. So I'm glad that opportunity arose, and I'm glad that the rolls failed all those times because it
was
just
fun.
kind of flexes on that ongoing joke.
I just kept thinking of the SpongeBob meme with Patrick. You're good, and all the boards are just flying up past him.
But even before that, though, even that first was it the first night that Wernthar visited?
Yeah.
Like landed on the boat, or was it the day after? I don't remember.
First full day. I
It's
think.
one of the first days, yeah. Because you were on the ship for about 5 days total?
2.5.
2.5, okay.
It felt like forever.
Like 4 streams. 4 or 5 streams and episodes.
Yeah,
I don't think it
Dragon
was that
Training.
many. It was about 3 sessions on the boat.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, it was unexpected that Werenthar kind of made it back, but it was nice that he kind of like closed it out, like because we didn't get to talk to him. And it was crazy that episode. We were all kind of like talking about dragon arms.
yeah,
It just
that
so
was weird how it
happened.
happened to play out like that, right?
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, dragons and wyverns. That's what makes them different. Oh, hey, here's Werenthar. He's here to talk to us.
Oh,
Are you aware of
convenient
dragon?
plot hook.
Or are you aware
Which is funny. Like,
Wyvern?
I had that in mind that he was coming, and you all were discussing that. I was like, this is strangely relevant.
That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
because that was part of the plan, but they just happened to be talking about that. But that was the original gift that he was going to give you back if you were there for that fight.
Okay.
Hannah was, yeah. But I'm glad there was that sort of closure there, a little bit. Not fully satisfactory, I think, because you didn't get all the answers that you were wanting there. But you got some, at least, backstory of the order that of the Blood Hunters you became a part of. Not necessarily part of your personal past.
Yeah, for sure. I think she's definitely interested in figuring out like more of where she came from before everything. But
Yeah.
no, it was good to learn about that because I don't think like as far as I've written her backstory and as far as I know, she hasn't really gotten too much in the order stuff. So it's not something that her mom and pa talked to her much about.
Right.
So yeah, it was kind of nice to see that come together.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a pocket order Bible.
Right.
She can flip through.
Manual.
The manual. Dang. Welcome to the order.
She did have an initiation, but I don't think I've ever mentioned that on.
You haven't.
Stream.
You haven't really discussed
Did
it.
you? I think you mentioned it to Gemma, but didn't go really into detail because Gemma had asked you at one point, I think, doing a girls' night thing and
Right.
asking about your history and stuff. But yeah, you really haven't gotten into it. Did you have to kill somebody? Did you have to,
Maybe.
did you have to go on a hunt?
Find out in the next episode.
All right. Well,
Oh my God.
write down this thing. Stuff that we have to start asking. Read books. Ask
Right.
about initiation. Do we lose Charlie?
Yeah, I think
Alright.
he had to step away for a
Great.
second.
Okay, great.
But we'll keep going.
Dragon training though. So now you have them all of allies.
Right.
You're just
yeah.
even more terrifying now.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I think it's I wasn't changing too often, like first of all because like all the magic stuff and people would see, but then the second one was Will is actually much stronger with her maul. So there wasn't too much
Right.
there wasn't too much that was kind of forcing her emotionally to turn into a wyvern either.
Yeah.
So it made sense for her to stay in her normal form. But now that she's stronger, you utilize that more.
Exactly why. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that really lends to the arc too. Like we're at this certain point where you have these new abilities and you are sort of realizing yourself and using, becoming what you're supposed to be.
Right. Yeah. Maybe
As
there'll
you-
be a third evolution where she like full dragons in the end.
We'll see. There's a lot going on there. I love it. It's a lot of story to tell. I can't wait to get to it. But yeah, loved that whole moment. And then I guess after that, it sort of led into the Kuo-Toa fight, right? Where you got to, where you heard that something was climbing on the boat on the side of the boat. That everyone was alerted, came out. And then
This was at night, right?
It was at night. There was a thunderstorm going on. I know that Gemma unleashed a lightning bolt, which was pretty cool. And you rescued Phil from being pulled off the side of the ship. But no one could really speak to them, so you didn't find out too much information there.
I thought we were gonna go and do a whole like a Kuo-Toa side story for a second.
We let Phil get taken. Maybe we would
They
have.
they would have gone in that direction, yeah.
Well, you guys did end up like you knocked one out, right, Willa? And then
Several.
Ted was able to talk to them.
Yeah, they were worshiping some statue. It was a weird name. I don't have it written down. Bibbleboop. Yeah,
Biddleboop.
Bibbleboop.
Yeah.
Which I swear you woke up or made up on the spot.
I didn't make up on the spot. I wrote it in my notes. Yeah.
That's great.
If you look into Kuo-Toa, like lore, that's what they do. They seem to worship little idols and statues and things, and then they just become obsessed with it. They're like, "Oh my god!" And they name them those weird things like that.
But that's
Like
why
what
Hannah, when you were like, I wonder what they were going to do with him. I'm like, well, they're either going to eat him or they're going to worship him. There's like one of two things, really. But I guess
they
they
were-
might have eaten him.
Well, they were taking a daywalker, both a daywalker and because they don't come out during the day, they only come out at night. They're sensitive to sunlight. So they come out at night and they live in the water. So they were going to take a dry lander, as Savamel would call him, and
Oh,
a daywalker.
is that why
and-
Savna called us behind our backs? Interesting.
Those dry bastards.
They were going to sacrifice Phil to the statue. That's what they were planning to do.
Oh,
Oh,
dang.
so getting
If it
drunk on
went
the
the
job.
other
Really?
way.
Yeah, if it went
Yeah.
the other way.
Yeah.
Why you don't drink and
Somebody just needs to feed Phil.
Speedville.
For what?
Oh, that's a. All right.
Is that a reference to the show?
That's-
Yeah.
There's a Netflix show called Somebody Feed Phil.
Oh,
Oh.
thanks.
It's a cooking show. Guy who created Ray Romano. Anyway, good show.
Great.
But then after that, so there was the Kuatoa encounter, and then the thunderstorm receded, right? And then the fog came in, and then the final encounter. Let's talk about that. Anyone want to kick it off?
Yeah, because you guys were just going through that fog and hearing like sounds of battle and everything else.
And we had so many plans too to like let's try to sneak by,
Right.
and then they found us.
Stealth roll ship.
Got the armor out and everything.
So you probably didn't expect the Griffins, but they started to fly in the Griffins after you took off on the ship, and we're catching up to you until that point. Griffins also have advantage on perception checks. So through that fog, once it started to clear up, they were making those perception checks, and they found you. And plus,
Were those Empire mounts?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it wasn't like we could have gotten a rental Griffin in Varendrel. So I'm just trying
They
to.
weren't in Varendrel, but they are prevalent in New Domar.
Okay.
Oh, we should have kept one.
Yeah, we probably
Oh man.
No, instead they're dead at the
Threw it in
bottom
a
of
bubble
the river.
and kicked it off the side of the
Where were you again, Willow? Where were you on that one? You were literally on top of one.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Oh
Well,
wait, no,
it
Razik
died.
killed it.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. Dropped it.
The one in the bubble we should have kept though.
Yeah, which was very surprising for me. I thought Anton was going to get into an epic Jedi sword battle with his
Oh, the
mentor and his
volcano.
arch
Right.
enemy. And he just started slinging magic items and stuff. And gave it everything he got. And that's why I turned him invisible, because I was like, okay, this is going to be awesome. She's going to help him, and give him that advantage and let him do his thing and not kill them for him. And
The
she's like, "No."
invisibility thing, like, you guys always know how to like wreck my plan.
Yeah, greater invisibility.
That was a hard
You can
decision.
still
I've had that
attack.
in my pocket
Man.
for so since the last level up too. I'm like, oh,
I did at least manage to pull off the Bane on someone. I got it on Willa, but if you hadn't hopped onto the Griffin there, Willa, he was gonna sling like more like spells and debuffs on everyone
Oh.
until
Oh my
Jane
God, there's
just
a dragon on here.
after everyone. But
Oh,
then
yeah.
you
Yeah, you just super jumped.
jumped onto the back on the Griffin.
Oh, good. So
That was awesome, though. That was really cool.
I was kind of half waiting for her to just fall into the river.
Oh no.
Jane had the same. Not Jane. Avario had the same reaction Wes did. Like, oh my God, I didn't expect this. What's going on? There's a dragon on this Griffin.
I was hoping to like throw him onto the ship or something at some point, but it worked out.
Yep.
Water.
Threw him into the river, and then somehow, like Jamie Lannister,
Yeah.
they kept crawling back out of the deep water
And
in full armor.
on the side of the boat. It's like everyone just keeps crawling on the edge. But I didn't realize that those force beads were going to prevent us also from actually attacking the people who were in clothes. So, but it was good to be able to push like one of the Griffins off. I think that kind of got rid of one of those threats. It was Jane.
Yeah, you guys were able to CC pretty well and kind of just keep them separated and
Mhm.
like negate their best abilities and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had basically like beat both of them. I was ready to like transition to the sign off for the night, and then and he's back.
We just kicked him off the edge, like, get off our boat.
No, we're done with you. We finished. No, but then Anton was able to have his cool confrontation moment with both
Right.
Jane and Avario there.
I'm surprised he
man.
didn't want to kill Avario.
Yeah, me too.
So that was a
Very
surprising
surprised.
moment, I think, for everyone, was him just sort of saying, like, laying down, as you said in the chat afterwards, Mike, like the "I'm done fighting" moment.
Oh, his hero, moment
His
where
heroic, like, "I'm done fighting," throwing down his sword.
well, it really shows that he was very adamant about proving his innocence. Like he didn't. I don't think he
Right.
really wanted to kill Jan at all. He was defending himself, but wanted to see Avario punished.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
and find justice for the people that he blamed Anton for killing.
Yeah.
And it's just again had that moment and had the opportunity to actually just be like, this is not what I want. I want you to know that this is how it went down. And he stuck to his guns. So it was pretty cool to see.
Very cool moment. Yeah, very cool for his character. And then Jane, though, just relentless, wanted revenge, saw that he has been deceived, and saw evil. But yeah, Avario was sort of one of the corrupted sort of forces, and he was trying to become a knight. Hadn't quite gotten there yet, but he became a worshiper of Beltor, which I know that you all didn't really know that, but it's like the nemesis of the Damarian Knights. The Damarian Knights, they worship Arathis mostly, and the opposite of that is Beltor. And Beltor actually has their own knights. Like there's the Damari Knights, then there's the opposite dark side, a separate force of evil knights that worship Beltor.
Where do they live?
Anyway, they are mostly
Next to a big volcano.
Yeah, exactly.
they're more south. They're like by Pangaean a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. But
But
What was I saying?
but the Damarian Knights are they worship the light god,
Yeah.
but
they do.
but they're
But
bastards.
they've been sort of corrupted from within, right? Like that's sort of the
Right.
complication of the empire is
The
they feel like they're
bureaucracy of
fighting
the
for
empire.
honor, but power corrupts, right? And sort of they've lost their way.
They live long enough to see themselves become the villain.
Yes, something like that.
Something like that. So we're fighting two evil sets of knights now. Not evil,
Actually,
but
like most of the knights you come
Misguided.
across, like they're not evil at all. Yeah, they're just misguided. Like even the one you let go after the fight with Vanya, the waterfall fight, was sort of like, I respect what you did. I've noticed that you're heroes. I don't want to fight you, right? But just I'm trying to do the right thing. They're all just trying to do the right thing, but like they've been misguided by forces that are above them that have other motives. So
I feel like we're going to. I'm like just realizing this now that we're probably going to be running into more of the Beltor stuff later on.
Maybe.
I don't know. It just happened. Like, I mean, we had been running from the Damarian Knights, and then all of a sudden, this whole thing with a Knight of Beltor comes up, and now we have to keep
Because like
our eye on.
the main goal so far for you guys, like over the course of the whole arc, was mainly just getting out of the Empire.
Mhm.
And you kind of got some little tidbits here and there. You have like the dragon jewels and a few other things like that in that map off to go off of. But like kind of really next mainline session, it's a little bit like, well, what do we do now?
Now that
That's a
we,
great-
yeah,
and that's a great segue, Charlie, because into like, yeah, what's beyond this? I think it's actually really exciting because now it's like, I mean, you do have the goal of trying to get to the volcano to possibly rescue
Destroy the one
Salamander.
ring. No.
Yeah, throw the one ring into the fire. But you have that goal to, if you want to continue to pursue that, something about followers of the dragon going on there. But there's going to be more information that will come to light soon once we get into stuff. But it's really going to be open up to everyone. Like Gemma, maybe you want to go back down on the other side and go down to the the Arcana Atrium, the magic school.
Got my
right?
acceptance
Over
letter.
there. You have your acceptance letter. And sort of where else do you want to go? And then I guess
this
Willow.
is where we spin off into Strixhaven for.
No, I actually unrelated. Well, sort of related. I asked Wes where on the timeline our Strixhaven game lined up.
Yeah.
Actually, we had discussed that off camera. So
it's canon in this.
Yeah, in some respect, yeah.
Separate continent.
But I think it's going to be cool to also see exactly how far the reach of not just the Demarian Empire reaches into Gil-Atalon, but also even the Pangenans. Just having to deal with all of these magical items and stuff. How far do their agents actually go out into the continent, being so far from where their homeland is?
But also, it's going to be a little. Must be a little freeing for especially Gemma to be like, I can just use my magic now, right? Without having to like worry about those restrictions. That'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm really excited to see. It's going to change a lot about the party and the story.
That's part of why she was unleashing as we were escaping the boat too. Is just that this is kind of the final push. This is where this is going to take us to the exit, and I'm going to go full celestial and start fireball and thunder waving and whatever. At that point, they knew. They already knew, and they were there to arrest me. Oh man,
it's true.
What was Gemma's goal after she gets out of the Empire? Was she hoping to like find a new town to settle down in? Like if she hadn't like met everybody.
I don't know if she even thought that far ahead. You know, it was her. This is basically the furthest she's ever been from home, and after a few of the events, we at least were able to discover that there was a place for her to learn and discover her magic. But I don't think she thought about it at all. Just escaping with her life, really, which is definitely hard for her because she's not being abandoned, but she has to leave her old life behind.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe start a what was it, like underground tunnels, like
tunnel liberation, like her parents.
Oh,
maybe, yeah.
Like level 20, like
come back and liberate all the magic users and get butter back. Ride into battle with butter.
That damn horse
coming back. You better get prepared, Wes.
For a horse that I named on the spot, it sure lasted quite a while.
Best name.
Butters,
because of the name.
Butters a name I lasted.
We have an emoji on Discord for us.
So. We do. Yeah.
Also, we have an emoji on Twitch. If you subscribe, we get to use the butter emoji.
Oh yeah, we do.
Save butter.
Yeah.
T-shirts. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be something for our merch.
Yeah, in the future, hopefully. But I think that's where we can start wrapping it up for tonight, unless you guys have anything else you want to cover. I think we covered pretty much everything of the last little mini section of Arc 1.
There is. No, well, as we were approaching the shore, I think you mentioned that there was somebody waiting for us. Which who even knows that we're coming?
A mysterious figure. We'll find out more.
Thanos.
The female.
I don't want to give anything else away, but we'll see where that leads. And
who else even knew that we were coming there, though? That's the thing. It's like we didn't tell anybody. Only the people in the Silver Circle knew where we were going, and Jane and Avario found us. Yeah, but he's screwing around in a volcano.
He gave away all our secrets.
He gave away all our secrets.
Maybe
it's been like 2 days.
You know?
It's been a day and a half. Stop it.
I'm sorry. They tortured me. I miss bacon.
Yeah, so I have no idea. That's crazy.
That's crazy. We'll find out. There are reasons. There are reasons. Yeah, and what I've also started doing, because obviously coming up Veiled Threats allows me a little bit more time to flesh out what's going to be going on beyond the Empire, is really excited for like the first town and sort of some more adventures that are, I think, going to be more kind of like fantasy classic D&DS, because now you have that freedom for magic, and there's
Some lower
wizards,
stakes.
there's more magical creatures, there's more higher end things to deal with. So really excited to get into that. But also Veiled Threats, which is going to be next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So yeah, we can pretty much this has been our recap. I've been calling it Talking Terramir. I still no official name. First host to last more than one episode. We'll see if I get a third one. But yeah, we'll be back with the first episode of our very own Mike. Mike, is this the right point? Mike will be running Tales of Terramir Veiled Threats next Wednesday, February 7th.
Yeah.
We start those streams at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 Central.
You don't have to do all the
No.
time.
Yeah, no. I was going the wrong direction anyway. It's late. But yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, February 7th. Mike will be running Veiled Threats. God. Wes is actually going to be playing in that game.
Yeah.
Yes.
It should be
great, yeah.
a fun little side story. We'll see how long it goes for. You guys always know how one shots or short shots go. They're always an extra session or two. Yeah, long shots.
We call them long shots.
Never ends in one.
So then, yeah, once Veiled Threats wraps up, we'll be back with our regular mainline, but that's TBD. Like I said before, if you liked what you're watching, give us a subscribe, give us a follow. You can see full recordings on YouTube and whatever your podcast is, and we're pretty much on most of the social medias at Tales of Terramir. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all have a good week.
Everyone, thanks for watching.
See ya.
Good night.